everybody, Claire Thomas here, and welcome. I am so excited to be sharing kind of my morning routine with everybody. So I am introducing this fabulous product that I have loved using in my home. It's Lavazza Classy Plus. And there's so many things that I love about this. First off, it is the most versatile espresso machine I've ever seen. It's fantastic. And the best part is that you can make not only coffee for kind of everyone in your family, but also if different people want different types of milks, it's just the easiest machine I've ever used in this way. Also, what I love about it is it has this incredibly slim design. It fits on my little coffee station, which to be honest is not very big. So being able to fit this incredibly slim, sleek piece of machinery and still have room for, my pots of sugar and things like that is fabulous. I also want to encourage you guys, I love hearing from you. I love getting questions. We're going to be doing an espresso tasting. I'm going to be making a special recipe. I'm making a gingerbread latte. So we're going to be having a lot of fun. So please, please, please comment. Please like the video. And if you're looking in the description, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see there's a link. So you click on the link and that is how you're going to be able to comment and engage with me while I'm making these espresso drinks. And then also it's how you access this fantastic offer. So there's a 30% off discount on the Lavazza Classy Plus as well as all of the pods. So you really want to take advantage of this because you will not find this offer anywhere else. And it is only on the link. And on top of that, if you spend over $50, you get free shipping, which who doesn't love that? It's honestly the perfect present. And to me, this is the kind of thing that we have the new year coming up. I feel like this is going to be just the perfect way of everyone being cozy in their home, wanting to enjoy a beautiful cup of coffee. So I have been familiar with the Lavazza brand for years. I really love drinking their coffee. I love Italian style coffee. And so when I found out that they created this machine, I got so excited because it means that I can bring that experience home and I can have it every single morning. So let me walk you through some of the fun elements here. But remember, click on the link and I really want to hear from you guys. I love answering your questions. So before we get into the actual shot pulling, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the machine. So on the Classy Plus, you can make all kinds of different espresso-based drinks, which is very exciting. So you can do an espresso, a lungo, and then an actual 8-ounce coffee, which is great. So if you have a black coffee drinker in your family, they are totally covered. And then this is the part as a cappuccino girl, I am very excited about because you can do milk drinks as well. It's actually part of the system. So you have a milk cup, this incredible milk frother, which I'm going to get into later, but you can do a macchiato, a cappuccino, and a latte, which is fantastic. So one of the cool things about this milk frother is because it's just like a little cap you put on top of this. What's really fun is you can easily rinse it off between cups of coffee. So my husband, for instance, is dairy-free. I personally love whole milk in my coffee. So for my husband, between the two coffees, I just rinse out mine and then put his in, and then it's, we're ready to go for his cappuccino. So I love that. I love the versatility and the ease of use. And going back to the style, this actually won an award in 2020 for best design. And you can see it's because it's so slim. Both of us are fitting on the screen at the same time, which I love. So it doesn't take up any counter space and it doesn't have this huge frother next to it or anything like that. Also, I have to be honest, I am the kind of person who adds way too much milk to my frother usually. So it's kind of like a mess. And I found this to be also the cleanest way of making an espresso-based drink that I've ever seen. Everything's really contained and easy, so you don't have to worry about there being coffee grounds all over the place, or you feeling oh man, the milk spilled everywhere, which is me. When you're waking up in the morning, the last thing you want is a giant mess on your kitchen counter. It's not fun. So this is incredible. This is really clean, beautifully designed, so little, it's really petite, which is great. And then the versatility, what is not to love? My brother is an espresso guy. So he is the kind of guy where he will pull a shot of espresso and sip on it. So I think we should actually get into this. Let's pull a shot of espresso. But before I get into the actual making, I would love to hear from you guys if you have any questions going on about the machine, about your coffee routine. What's kind of your thing? I told you I'm a cappuccino girl. I'd love to hear what your sort of dream coffee drink is, and then maybe we can make it together. All right, so this is the Expert palette. So I'm gonna show you some of the pods. Look at all those fun colors, so gorgeous. And so what I love about this pack, I would really recommend grabbing this pack because first off, that 30% discount, which is on the link below. What's amazing about that is you can load up on your coffee pods. It's a huge savings. I have a closet in my kitchen that I just like have filled with the Lavazza pods, so I'm just ready. Like it's very necessary. The last thing you want is to open that cupboard and realize, oh no, we're out of coffee. So definitely load up now. But what I love about this palette is if you are new to coffee, or if it's something you just have never really explored from a flavor or culinary perspective, this is a really fantastic start. Like I didn't really get into coffee. Like I hadn't been a coffee nerd until probably a few years ago. And so the best way to kind of learn what you like, to nerd out on something, is to just taste. And so that's what I love about this palette. So if you look at it, it really gives you a wonderful selection of all of Lavazza's offerings, and it goes from light to medium to intense. And so talking a little bit about this, when you think of light coffee, most people think, oh, this is going to be kind of, not too powerful, not too much flavor, not too much strength. That actually is not true. The lighter the roast, the higher the caffeine content, because when you're roasting, it actually removes some of that caffeine from the coffee bean. So if you want like a morning pick-me-up, something to really just like open those eyes, you actually want to go for a lighter roast. And what's really wonderful about lighter roast, and why I think a lot of coffee nerds really gravitate towards lighter roast, is because you get really delicate flavors as well. So you'll get these aromatic flavors, you'll get lots of fruit flavors, which I think is really interesting. So you'll get blueberry and citrus and just really wonderful, kind of interesting flavors you don't expect to find in your coffee necessarily. So if that's something that sounds interesting or exciting to you, I would definitely start with the light because that's a wonderful introduction. Now, the medium roast is known for being very balanced. So that means that you are gonna still get some of those aromatic qualities, but you also are gonna get a little bit of that caramelization. And so it's a really good, like, everybody's happy coffee. So if you're just making someone a cup of coffee and you're like, I don't know what they want, do a medium roast. That's sort of a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Everyone's gonna love it. And I actually love the medium as my 8-ounce coffee the most. That's my favorite for an 8-ounce because it has a little bit of that body, but it's enough where I just put a splash of milk in and I'm ready to go. So now we get to the intense. These are my favorite. You can tell because one's missing already. I had one this morning. But I love the intense so much. And the reason why is because I'm just a traditional girl. I love that kind of classic Italian flavor in my coffee. So I love flavors of chocolate. I love hazelnut. I want caramel. Like I love all of those really rich roasted flavors. And the reason why you get those flavors in the darker roast is because the bean is actually getting caramelized the longer it roasts. So those sugars are getting concentrated. So that's where you get those incredible, rich, really deep, wonderful flavors. And also, this is actually one of the lower acid types of coffee because same thing, like the longer you roast, it kind of helps with the acidity. So I find that the darker roast is really great in milk-based drinks. So if you want to make a cappuccino, if you want to make a latte, or the recipe we're going to be doing in a little bit, the gingerbread latte, I would maybe try the dark roast because it has those wonderful, like really just beautiful, like dark winter flavors that I love. And because it's low acid, it goes really well with the milk, but it still has that strength, has that amazing bite that really cuts through the milk as well. So that's just sort of a little flavor tour of what we're going to be doing. I am actually going to grab one of these ones. I'm going to grab, let's see, the espresso, and we are going to do a little tasting together. This is going to be super duper fun. But before I get into that, do you guys have any questions? I love hearing from you. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put my little espresso cup underneath. And I'm gonna press the button and then let it do its thing. So as the shot is getting pulled, what I love is that this is doing the hard work for me. So typically if you were doing this on a traditional espresso machine, you would have to tamp down the ground coffee beans to a very specific pressure and weight. You'd have to make sure all your water was calibrated, and you'd want to make sure that the pull you were getting created crema. So we're gonna talk a little bit about crema. So this is, like, for me, the very exciting part. So this is how you know you've pulled a beautiful cup of coffee. So look at that. Do you see that amazing creamy top? It's really gorgeous. It's over like 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's this wonderful color. So it's this kind of like very pale kind of honey auburn. It's absolutely beautiful. So the crema are the oils that emulsify together at the top of your espresso. So the crema is kind of the first indication of a quality cup of espresso. So this is the first little thing that you can see, ooh, okay, like this, whoever's barista this is really knows what they're doing. And what I love is my barista is the Classy Plus. Like, I didn't have to really do much. I love it. You saw one push of a button and I have this like stunning cup of espresso with crema on top, as if I'm sitting in a sidewalk cafe in Italy. So I mean, you know, you really can't beat that. So the first thing when you taste coffee or espresso, well, actually I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek. There's really 4 steps to tasting espresso and figuring out what you like about it, what really is your coffee palate. So number 1 is aroma. So aroma's easy. You just use your nose. It's very similar to a wine tasting. So all we do is we just smell. Oh man, what is it about the smell of coffee? Oh my gosh, is this the best smelling thing on the planet? So you smell, and that's where we kind of start picking up a little bit of like it's like a preview, like before a movie. You kind of get a sense of what this is about, what flavors you might anticipate. And first off, if when you smell it, you're like, I smell coffee, you're supposed to smell coffee. It definitely, coffee is gonna be that predominant sort of flavor profile and scent as well. But if you go into it, like for me, I can tell off the top, that caramelization, that is coming through. This is a dark roast. It has a wonderful kind of chocolatey quality. It has a really nice kind of, yes, I'm getting like basically like toffee and caramel from the top, which I'm very excited about. Okay, well, I also want to kind of myth bust a little bit. So a lot of people think when you get an espresso shot, because it's little, you're supposed to kind of scull it back and just be like a big gulp of coffee. That is not the case at all. You're actually supposed to sip and savor it. You need to, really enjoy the entire experience of the espresso. Just because it's little doesn't mean that you should drink it quickly. It just means that it's a moment you really get to savor. And that's one of the reasons why I love coffee as a ritual. For me, it's like a big part of my morning. I love the smell, I love the sounds, I love getting to sit and really enjoy my coffee. And so I think giving yourself a beat in the morning to kind of really slow down and feel that espresso, it's really lovely, and it's a great way of sort of setting your day up right, rather than just sort of drinking it really quickly and trying to get the caffeine and get out the door. All right, well, let's give this a taste, because number 2 is we're gonna try to get the sense of the body. So when I say body, what does that mean? Body means how the espresso feels inside your mouth. So what is the texture like? Is it thin and watery? Is it like very thick and kind of like warm honey? Like, what is the body like? And you want something that has a little bit of thickness to it, because once again, that shows that this is a quality espresso. All right, well, here we go. That is so good. So for me, it has a creamy texture. So what I like about that is it's not super heavy. It doesn't like cloy, it doesn't cling to your palate in a way that can sometimes be a little annoying. This has a really lovely kind of creaminess to it. So it really does taste like if you put cream in the coffee, like in the espresso, like that's kind of the texture, which is really beautiful. And now we get to flavor. So tasting it, that chocolate's coming through for me. I love it. I mean, if you guys are tasting espresso at home, or if you've tried Lavazza, I'd love to hear what kind of flavors you've picked up. There's no wrong answers, honestly. If you said bubblegum, like I'd be like, okay, it's totally fine. It's whatever your palate tells you, and that's kind of the fun thing. when you're tasting food and thinking about it, it doesn't have to be a snobby experience. It can be something that is fun and playful, and that's what I love so much about the Classy Plus and all the amazing pods is it encourages creativity. It encourages you tasting and trying and seeing what works for you. Like for me, I don't tend to like lighter roast because I don't like that higher acid content, but I only found that out by trying and tasting and going, oh, okay, is this for me? Oh, actually I'm a dark roast person. You know, so you only find out what your taste is by tasting. All right, so the flavors are so wonderful. Let's see. And then the last bit is finish. And the finish is what it sounds like, which is what does it leave behind? It's almost like, it's like a thank you note. Like what does it leave for you as the taster after it's gone out the door? And I love this because I read a barista somewhere say that, you know, you want an espresso to leave the customer happy. You want them walking out the door with the flavor on their tongue and them feeling really great about their day because it just tastes so good. And that's what I love about this flavor is I can feel it on my tongue, it's in my throat. It's really delicious, and I love things that aren't too sweet. So for me, this is just like, it's absolutely great. Well, I also want to just call out right now, if you haven't clicked on that link in the description, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please make sure to click on that link in order to get 30% off this incredible machine and also the pods. You do not want to miss out, but you only get it if you click on the link. So please make sure to do that. Also, I love hearing from you guys, so please comment, please like. If you comment and like on the link, I'll be able to hear from you and answer some of your questions. Oops. All right, well, this is the fun part. So now we're getting into the recipe. So I'm making a gingerbread latte, which is honestly very easy. I love this. I love things that look impressive, but are actually very simple to put together. So this is the perfect cup to enjoy on Christmas morning or just like any kind of winter morning. It's just very cozy flavors. So what I have here are gingerbread spices, and I have some candied orange peel on a very fancy skewer. So I'm just gonna set that aside for now. But you can see the spices I have here. I have quite a bit of cinnamon, so like about a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half teaspoon of ginger, a pinch of black pepper, and also a pinch of cardamom. So I am not putting all of this in 1 cup of coffee. That would be a very, very gingerbready coffee. So I'm actually gonna put this into this little bowl that I have right here. Boop, just like that, let them all mix together. And then I have a little bit of maple syrup. So I love maple syrup in coffee. I actually find that that kind of caramelized flavor in maple is a really wonderful complement to coffee, especially darker roasts. They kind of go together. You'll start to see that a lot of ingredients that have similar processes. So for instance, the reason why chocolate and coffee taste very similar, they're both beans that have been fermented, so sugars come through to give a flavor, right? So they have like a lot of similar parallels, and that's why they taste so good together. So maple syrup for me is kind of similar to that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of maple syrup, just enough to kind of make a spice syrup. And then I have a spoon, I'm just gonna stir it together, and that's it. And I love this gingerbread spice combination because it's actually a German combination. The addition of like black pepper and cardamom are part of that. You can also add flavors like clove, which is really delicious, and coriander seed. I mean, you can really kind of go to town here. So what I'm going to do is I have my Lavazza cup here for making a cappuccino. So I'm just going to put a couple of, maybe a couple teaspoons, like no more than a tablespoon. As I said, I don't like things too sweet. If you want something with a little more sweetness to it, you can always add more maple syrup. This really is about like, how do we make this delicious for you? So don't get too fussy, don't overthink it. There we go. Beautiful. And then, because as I mentioned, I'm a cappuccino person, I'm going to add my milk up to the cappuccino line, which I love. Like, how handy is that it tells you like, this is the amount. Like, as I said before, I have a tendency of making a mess when I make coffee in the morning. So I love that this sort of takes all the guesswork out of it. You really don't have to overthink it, which is amazing. So then I'm putting my lid on top. So I'm just gonna pop my foamer right here. And let's get that in there. Boop. You can hear it click into place. Ah, it beeped. That means I am doing the right thing. That is fabulous. All right, and now I'm gonna, let's see, open this up. I'm putting my pod in on top. Down we go. And then same as before, I just press a button and we're on our way. There we go. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. It smells incredible. All those gingerbread spices. Oh my gosh, yes, please. So what's happening right now is this is making the foam. And there's a reason why foam is very specific. Making foam from home, you know, if you use one of those hand foamers, it never quite does the job, you know what I mean? It like kind of is like, it's fine, but what you're looking for is this velvety texture. You really want the bubbles to be super duper tiny and just to give you like this absolutely incredible texture. You want it to be like velvet in your mouth. It honestly, to me, it reminds me of the crema that you get from the espresso. So you want it to have that same kind of quality, that's like luxurious. It's like a cashmere blanket, but in a cup. You know, that's what we're looking for. So we can see this is going, oh my goodness. But you can also see why, like, you don't want to overfill it because then it would go over the edge. And so that's me to a T. It's like I always do too much. But oh my gosh, the scent of these spices, incredible. Please comment, if you guys are on that link, please comment if you're gonna try this gingerbread latte. I really hope you do, because it's yummy. It is so, so good. I love these kinds of drinks. But this is the same idea for if you were to make a mocha. You just put like a little bit of the chocolate syrup in the bottom. If you wanted to do like a peppermint latte, you could just add a little bit of peppermint extract. Oh, here comes the espresso. But you can see this is all happening in here together. So really make sure, please click on that link. Please make sure to take advantage of the incredible offer we have going on today. Ooh, I think it's done. I think that sound is finished. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull it out. Oh, there we go, now it's done. So I'm just going to pull it out. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. And see what I mean? It's like so easy, so easy. That's beautiful. So you can drink out of this cup if you want, or you can pour it into a handy mug, which is what I'm gonna do today. And then all of that wonderful foam is still on top. Gorgeous. And then I have my cinnamon. So I'm just going to do like a little bit of boop, 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 dusting of cinnamon on top. And then I'm just gonna put my orange peel on there. And I mean, look at that. Who would not want, here, I'm gonna hold this so I can tip it to show you a little bit. Who would not want something gorgeous like that as their morning coffee? I mean, hello. So I'm just gonna put that down to the side and nibble on that later. Oh my gosh, the cinnamon. There's just something about cinnamon and coffee together. It's just like a match made in heaven. Oh, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love this? It tastes like a gingerbread house. But grown up, which I absolutely love. So this is just incredible. What I love about it is the milk texture is so good. Oh my goodness. It is just pure velvet. It's exactly those teeny, teeny, tiny bubbles that we're looking for. But as you saw, with like absolutely zero effort on my part. So you can just be in like a bathrobe and barely a wig and just like press a button and have the most stunning coffee on the way to your hands, which just for me is amazing. I'm a mom of things out all of these incredible flavors. So the milk drink component to me is actually what got me the most excited, because you have this ease of use. You can really easily create these incredible like lattes and cappuccinos. And then additionally, like you can switch out the type of milk you're doing, you know, so simply. You can put in, like right now, all I have to do is rinse out a cup and put in almond milk and my husband is ready to go, you know? So it really is great for an individual because it's small, or it can serve an entire family because you have all these different, you have 6 different drink options. Like everyone's happy. Like my brother is known for coming over. We live very close to each other. So he'll come over and kind of pillage our coffee station. So it's like, I know that Henry will get his espresso, or if he wants to do like an iced latte or something, he's set up here. My husband and his like almond milk latte, me and my cappuccino, everybody's covered. So I absolutely love this to give to somebody. I think especially for the new year, I mean, just what a great way of starting off your January with an incredible, like just espresso machine. Not only do you get to learn about yourself, you get to learn about the world as well. And the cool thing too is Lavazza sources their coffee from across the world. So there's a lot of different flavors coming from Honduras and Brazil, Southeast Asia, even, Africa. There's so many different sort of sources of coffee, and do it in a way that is so user-friendly and also creates an incredible product. Like, you literally never have to go to we're going to be, checking in there. So that's where you can get your 30% discount. That is where you can get the discount on the machine as well as the pods. It's also how you are able to get the product. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me kind of play around and play barista this morning. I had so much fun. Thank you so much for just like being a part of this and coming into my dining room while I make everybody some coffee. And I'm definitely going to be making more of this gingerbread latte for the rest of winter. It's so cozy and so delicious. But you also can make all kinds of drinks on this incredible, very versatile machine. So I want to hear from you guys. So please find me on my social, comment, post, let me know if you have tested this out yourself. I want to know about what kind of coffee drinks you're making. If you're doing a peppermint mocha, if you're doing, I had a friend who was doing like cocktails with her coffee. So there's so much fun and so much exploration to be had. And I feel like the winter season's the perfect time to do it because it's when we're all like in slippers and cozy and just want to drink like warm, delicious drinks. So to me, this is absolutely perfect for that. But please make sure to check out that link, 30% off. You only get it if you click on the link. So you need to make sure that if you want that 30% off, if you want to get this incredible offer, that is how you access it. Well, guys, this has been absolutely so much fun. I really, really appreciate you joining me for this wonderful kind of adventure in coffee. It was really fun teaching everybody how to taste espresso. Hopefully it made the process not too complicated and it made it feel very, very user-friendly. So don't be intimidated. The cool thing about tasting is it's just you and your palate. And it's truly like, what do you like? There's no wrong answer. So that's the cool thing about tasting is you start to figure out, okay, this is what I'm into. And it doesn't mean that anything else is bad or what have you. It just means that this is your personal taste. And I think when you discover that, it just opens up all these really fun doors and it makes drinking coffee, drinking espresso even more exciting. But this was so much fun. And thank you guys so much for joining me. So I'll see you on the next one, but please make sure, click on that link in order to comment, post, get involved with the conversation about this incredible coffee, and then also to access that discount too, because you really, really want that. Great, well, thank you everybody. I really enjoyed this and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm gonna enjoy my gingerbread latte.